Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. In the next hour, we will inform you about an exceptional financial year 2013 for the Audi Group and about how we will keep our company on track for success this year as well. Or to put it differently, in what way has our work been fruitful, and how will we sow the seeds for future harvests? In addition to remarkable financial metrics, we will report on our enormous globalization progress in recent years, on our product and technology initiative, which we are pushing forward, and on our company's ongoing volume growth. Audi is more popular today than ever before. More than 1.57 million car buyers decided in favor of the four rings in 2013, and that means 8.3% more than in 2012. In just 4 years, we have gained more than 600,000 new customers, 1.57 million automobiles. Bumper to bumper, this Audi fleet would stretch from Ingolstadt almost all the way to Beijing. In China alone, we delivered nearly 492,000 cars, over a fifth more than in the previous year. Our lead in China is bigger than ever before. We gained major impetus from our local production, which we expand step by step with new models. Since April, we have been producing the Audi Q3 in Changchun, and at the beginning of the year, our plant in Foshan started work. The Audi A3 Sportback is produced there, soon to be followed by the A3 Sedan or Saloon. We are the only premium brand to offer 2 SUV models and 3 compact cars from local production in China. Now let's look at Europe. Total car sales in Western Europe seem to reach their lowest point in 2013. Since the pre-crisis year of 2007, the market has shrunk by a quarter. Audi is the only one of the 3 large premium manufacturers that successfully defied the crisis. We grew in that time by 5%, quite contrary to the market trend. In 2013, Audi delivered a total of 732,000 automobiles in Europe. And that means Europe is once again Audi's strongest sales region. And at the same time, Audi is the best-selling premium brand in Europe. And how was our business in North America and the United States? The Audi fan community there grew at a double-digit rate once again. From New York to Honolulu, we increased our US unit sales by 13.5% to nearly 160,000 cars. In North America overall, we sold more than 190,000 automobiles, thanks to high-quality prestige products such as the Audi A6, the Audi A8, and our RS models. We have been able to improve our price position significantly in recent years. And our residual values stand out with very good stability. Our SUV models are also extremely popular with the Americans. The Audi Q5 achieved sales growth of more than 40% in the United States, while unit sales of the Q7 actually increased by over 45%. This year, we are expanding our SUV portfolio there with the Audi Q3. Ladies and gentlemen, the coup with the Q has been an unparalleled success for Audi. Worldwide, we have delivered more than 1.6 million Q models since we entered the SUV business in 2006, and the trend is still dynamic. Our growth in this segment is 3 times as fast as overall. Last autumn, we announced a new addition to the Q family. As of 2016, we will offer an attractive entry-level SUV below the Q3, the Audi Q1. We put 15 new models and derivatives on the road in 2013. Above all, We further expanded our A3 model series. The three-door and the Sportback are already market leaders in Europe. The sedan and the cabriolet will give us additional impetus. In the luxury class, we have set a new highlight with the A8 upgrade. It is the first car with innovative matrix LED headlights. This technology is unique in the automotive industry. And we have underscored our status as the sportiest premium brand with the 4 new RS models. We now offer more high-performance models than ever before, and all of them feature significantly lower fuel consumption. Talking about sport, 2013 was one of the most successful years in our motorsport history. And we best show that in a short film to you in fast motion. Ladies and gentlemen, you experienced it last night already. In the new season, we look forward to competing again in Le Mans, now also against Porsche, and I can promise an exciting race to you. Let's stay with the group family. Our Italian subsidiaries were also very successful in 2013. At Lamborghini, 2,121 super sports cars delivered to customers set a new record for the third consecutive year. And at Ducati, more than 44,200 motorcycles sold surpassed the record of the previous year, despite all the difficulties affecting the motorcycle market. If we add to our own 3 brands the cars that we handed over to customers for other brands of the group, we generated record revenue of 49.9 billion euros last year. Our operating profit amounted to more than 5 billion euros, despite challenging economic conditions in some of our key markets. At the same time, we invested 3.6 billion euros last year, 10% more than in 2012, in the year before, laying the foundations for our future success. The focus of investment in 2013 was on expansion and thus new production sites. At the beginning of last year, we had 10 car plants in 9 countries. Today, we have 12 plants in 10 countries already, and in 2014, we will for the first time produce more cars abroad than in Germany. By 2016, we will have 2 more sites in Mexico and Brazil. We will then be producing in all regions in which we anticipate above average growth. Let's now look at Mexico. Audi is the first premium manufacturer in this country. At this time last year, our site in San Jose Chapa was completely untouched, but the plant is now taking shape. We are already completing some of the buildings. One of the first to go into operation this year is our training center, so that we can train our new employees. By the end of the year, more than 1,000 Mexicans will be on board. In total, we will create jobs for 3,800 people in San Jose Chapa, and this does not include the suppliers yet. So far, we have received more than 10 times that number of applications, so that is approximately 40,000 applications. We are creating attractive working conditions with a wide range of opportunities for further training and excellent health care, shuttle services to the transport interchanges in the vicinity, and working time accounts that allow overtime to be offset on an individual basis. And that's, again, something completely new in the Mexican labor market. A good 7,000 kilometers further to the southeast is Curitiba in Brazil. Last year, we decided to produce the Audi A3 sedan there as of 2015, and the Q3 will follow a bit later. In this context, allow me now to say a few words about the economic outlook for the emerging markets. After the boom years, people there are now getting anxious. That is what we have been hearing recently, because the end of the US Federal Reserve's ultra-expansive monetary policy is putting pressure on those countries' currencies and economies. We certainly see these things in a differentiated manner. Well, the long-term impact really depends less upon whether a country generally has emerging market status than on which specific issues it has to solve in its economic structures. We see Brazil in a good long-term position in this respect. External and public debt are low compared with the other emerging markets. The country is rich in raw materials, giving it reliable sources of income. It has an effective education system, the population is young, and the affluent middle class is growing. According to the latest industry studies, demand for premium automobiles in Brazil will double. Some say it will nearly triple by 2020. We want to utilize this market potential for Audi. We will create the right conditions to do so by developing our own local production facility there. Our plants in Győr in Hungary and in Foshan in the south of China have already gone into operation. I already mentioned the production of the A3 in Foshan, and in Győr we opened our new full plant last June, following the A3 sedan and cabriolet. Pre-series production of the new Audi TT is also running there. So the plant is now fully operational. Ladies and gentlemen, the man who ensured the success of these planned projects is going to leave us in a few weeks. My colleague, Dr. Frank Dreves, he will soon retire. He not only established a global production network at Audi, but with the introduction of the Audi production system, he also made sure that we maintain top quality standards worldwide. And in quantitative terms, we have increased our production of automobiles by nearly 2/3 under his guidance as a member of the Board of Management. Dear Dr. Dreves, we have always emphasized that such a workload can only be managed in a team. And you were a shining example of that spirit for your production team. I'm sure that I speak for everyone at Audi when I say we are very reluctant to let you go, but you more than deserve your retirement after such an intensive working life of more than 30 years at Audi. We would really like to say thank you very much for this, and we wish you the best for the future. Now, let's stay with the people at the Audi Group. In 2013, we recruited approximately 6,400 new employees. Ingolstadt and Neckarsulm account for the largest number, with more than 3,000 new employees, including about 750 young people who started an apprenticeship or a dual course of study with us. At the end of 2013, 73,751 people will be working for us, or worked for us. Now, Audi is more attractive as an employer than ever before. The latest proof is delivered by a joint poll carried out by the magazine Focus and the career network Xing. 19,000 participants selected the best employers in Germany, and the result was that Audi was voted as the employer of choice, first place for Audi. The study gave special weighting to the fact that our employees are happy to recommend Audi as an employer, and on behalf of the Board of Management, I can only return this compliment. Because when I look at the results for the year, this is also due to the contributions from our employees. And the employees paid according to the wage tariff agreements will this year once again receive a very good profit sharing bonus of an average of 6,900 euros for their outstanding work this year. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before I hand over to Mr. Struttbeck, just a few words about the rate of investment in innovation at Audi. We are now shifting up again in this respect. The lion's share of our new investment program will flow into the next stage of our product and technology initiative. In a few years, we will have 60 models in our product range. We are reinforcing our claim to leadership in innovative fields such as lighting technology, lightweight construction, connectivity, and piloted driving. We are investing in the further development of our Quattro drive and of our highly efficient advanced engines. And we are continuing with the rollout of our alternative drive systems. Dr. Ulrich Hackenberg will tell you more about this later on. And now, Axel Struttbeck is going to give you the financial details for 2013.
The technologies of the future are intelligent systems that adapt perfectly to different situations. Like our Audi Matrix LED headlights. For more than 33 years, it has stood for a dynamic and safe driving sensation and is always reinventing itself. Our Quattro drive. Smart, informative, and focused on the driver, the Audi virtual cockpit allows you to experience Vorsprung durch Technik. Zero local emissions and an impressive range. With the Tron technologies, we're shaping the transition to sustainable mobility. Without any compromises. Welcome to the 2013 Audi Annual Report.
Ladies and gentlemen, also welcome from my side to today's annual press conference. The question, how feels tomorrow, is a question that drives us forward daily, keeps us from standing still, and continually inspires us to develop new solutions, innovations for people, innovations for our customers. That's why, in the annual report 2013, we have put that question about the future as the leitmotif. In addition to the printed annual reports in German, English, and Chinese, you will also find a multimedia experience for a number of end devices with exciting audio and video features. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's now take a look at the financial developments in the preceding fiscal year. As you all know, the general conditions for the automotive industry, and with that, of course, also for us at Audi, remained challenging as before. Growth of the world economy was 2.5%, which was just a tweak below the moderate rate of the previous year. However, the economies of important regions developed very disparately once again. While the economic situation in the industrialized countries improved marginally over the course of the year, most of the emerging markets achieved above average growth once again in 2013. Thus, in Western Europe, the economic development stagnated, above all, of course, down to the sovereign debt crisis and ongoing structural challenges. Above all, the southern countries suffered in particular in their economic output, having to make do with a fall, despite some of the initial signs of stabilization that were evident in the second half of the year. In Germany, economic growth at 0.5% was once again lower than in the previous year, but above all, it was the low levels of demand from abroad that had a dampening effect on the export-oriented German economy. Russia also developed less dynamically, seeing economic growth of 1.6% only in 2013. Despite the positive consumer climate and an improved situation on the labor market, In the United States, economic growth slowed down due to government budget cuts and tax increases to a mere 1.9%. In China, however, its economy lived up to its role as the engine of the world economy once again in 2013. With GDP growth of 7.7%, China once again surpassed its self-defined targets. In Japan, economic growth went up by 1.7%, which was mainly down to state stimulus actions and the depreciation of the Japanese yen. Now, despite there's only moderate economic growth, global demand for automobiles in 2013 reached new record levels. Thus, the world's car market expanded to 70.1 million euros, that's a plus of 5%. Particularly dynamically were the sales regions in North America and the Asia-Pacific region. South America stagnated, while the overall European markets actually contracted. Allow me at this point to just stress one important aspect for us, namely the Audi brand developed better than the average market in all the sales regions. Now, how this development comes to reflect in our financial figures is what I would now like to outline to you in the following. Let me start with some of the key figures of our income statement. In the preceding fiscal year, we managed to increase revenue for the Audi Group, thanks mainly to the high demand on and for our new models of the compact premium A3 line, to a total of 49.9 billion euros. Now, compared with the high level of the previous year, this actually represents another growth of 2.3%. And having said so, we have to take due account that our revenue was negatively impacted by currency effects. As of July 2012, you will find the revenue of the Audi Group now includes also the motorcycle business of Ducati. In 2013, the motorcycle segment generated revenue of around 570 million euros. Now, let's move on to cost of sales. Due to the expansion of our production volume and international manufacturing structures, the cost of sales went up to about 40.7 billion euros. Now, comparing cost of sales with revenue adjusted for currency effects, you will see that the rates of increase are almost identical. In the preceding fiscal year, the gross profit decreased to 9.2 billion euros, with a gross margin attaining 18.4%. Audi Group's distribution costs were, despite the dynamic growth in revenue, at 4.6 billion euros, only slightly higher than the previous year. In the preceding fiscal year, administration expenses increased to about 570 million euros, an increase of 7.5%, which is due not only to the Audi Group's general growth, but primarily down to consolidation effects. Other operating income in the year under review increased to approximately 1 billion euros. This significant rise, compared with 2012, is mainly the result of improved gains on the settlement of currency hedging transactions. So all in all, ladies and gentlemen, you will see that the Audi Group achieved an operating profit in excess of 5 billion euros. Now, next to a highly and more intense competition, the development of earnings also reflects our efforts to systematically prepare the Audi Group for the global growth and the requirements of the future. Accordingly, significant advance down payments that we made in 2013 for future issues were having the biggest negative impact on earnings. One of our focus of investments was on the expansion of our international production capacities. Thus, you will find that our Hungarian site in Győr has now become a complete automobile plant with a full process chain. And with a new factory in Mexico, we are strengthening our position in North America. As of 2016, that plant will produce the successor generation of the Q5. The preceding year, we also worked flat out on the development of new models and, above all, pioneering and forward-looking technologies. At the same time, our earnings were already, as I mentioned earlier, affected by the intense competition in some of the key markets. It's a development that, of course, always comes along with the corresponding pressure on prices, is one that we cannot shy away completely, above all when it's a matter of protecting our strategic market position. In this context, I'd like to emphasize once more, as a premium manufacturer, Audi stands for price stability and does not partake in discount battles. Over and above, you will find that product mix also impacted our operating profit, especially in connection with falling demand in the markets affected by sovereign debt crisis in Western Europe, but also other markets. So let's move on to the more positive, the earning drivers in the preceding fiscal year. You will find this the most positive effect coming from the increase in unit sales. Here, we benefited on one hand from the dynamic growth of Audi's unit sales in the premium compact segment. Thus, the new models from the A3 family, such as the A3 Sportback and the new A3 Sedan, were responsible for key sales impetus. Also, an uptake that clearly was recorded for SUV models applied to the Q3, Q5 and Q7 models. And we once again managed to improve our production costs by further product cost optimizations and productivity progress. Allow me to add to inform you also about the earnings development on the motorcycles segment. In keeping with IFRS, the International Financial Relations Standards, systematic depreciation in view of the revelation of assets for purchase price allocation had to be considered. Taking this depreciation into account, operating profit in 2013 came to 33 million euros. Now, adjusted for these effects, you will find that Ducati actually generated operating profit of 59 million euros. So the Audi Group's financial income came to 293 million euros, which was, of course, substantially lower than the level achieved in 2012. You will find it was primarily the burning effect of fair value changes in derivative financial instruments that came to be playing a role here, and what's more, a lower level of market interest rates led to reduced earnings from the investment in liquid funds. A positive driver was the impact from equity method earnings from our Chinese joint venture business, so that the pre-tax profit of the Audi Group came to 5.3 billion euros. So, ladies and gentlemen, the strong profitability is also duly reflected in our financial ratios, which in 2013 once again made us to one of the most profitable car makers in the premium segment. Thus, in 2013, our operating return on sales was 10.1%. This means our margin, despite the many challenges we had to face and confront, was slightly higher than our strategic corridor of between 8 to 10%. No less successful is, of course, the return on sales before taxes, which at the same time reached 10.7%. Our return on investment, the yield on the average invested assets, was 26.4% for 2013. Now, let me just briefly comment the development of the main cash flow figures and net liquidity. You will find that in the preceding fiscal year, we increased our cash inflow from operating activities to 6.8 billion euros. At the same time, outflow from investing activities in current operations increased to the already mentioned advanced expenditures by about 10% to 3.6 billion euros. All the investments in the expansion of our international sites and in new models and technologies were also in the preceding year paid for from our own resources. Thus, with a positive net cash flow of about 3.2 billion euros, we managed, despite the strong investments and capex, achieved a clear excess funds, which actually was higher on the previous year by 10.9%, so that net liquidity at the end of the year increased to more than 14.7 billion euros. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the outlook for 2014. You will find that the volume target of 1.5 million euros, which we had initially planned for 2015, was one we already surpassed significantly in 2013, which means 2 years ahead of time. And although we anticipate only slight growth for the global car market, we plan that our attractive product portfolio will continue our dynamic volume growth in 2014. And also, for the motorcycle segment, we have ambitious growth targets. As a result, we aim to further increase the revenue of the Audi Group so that for the first time in the company's history, we will exceed the 50 billion euros. In 2014, we will continue the systematic expansion of our international production structures. Alongside the plants in Hungary, Mexico and Brazil, we will continue to invest in our German sites in Ingolstadt and Neckarsulm. And at the same time, we will invest even more in new products and technologies, which of course is our future. So, you will find that 70% of our investments is intended for the modernization and expansion of the model range and the portfolio of technologies. Investment in property, plant and equipment here is scheduled to be anywhere in the range between 5 to 5.5%. Despite these high expenditures for our future, we aim to achieve an operating return on sales in 2014 within our strategic target corridor of between 8 to 10%, which means we stay firmly on our qualitative growth path. Now, with this robust profitability level, we are laying the foundation for key investments in the future for the upcoming years. So, by the end of last year, we actually approved the biggest investment program so far in the company's history. By 2018, we plan to make investments of approximately 22 billion euros with a clear focus on innovation and technologies. And what we are planning and what we've got up our sleeves in detail, well, Mr. Hackenbeck will now give you the details on this in his presentation. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Strothbeck, for the friendly introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, we at Audi, we live Vorsprung durch Technik, leadership through technology. That's my philosophy as an engineer and as the board member responsible for technical development at Audi AG. It is my responsibility to live up to this conviction and set an example to more than 10,000 employees in Audi's global development network and to inspire the team to strive for great accomplishments. The supervisory board of Audi AG entrusted me with this task when it gave me responsibility for technical development at Audi last year. In my additional responsibility for coordinating the development of the various brands at Volkswagen Group, I team up with the members of the boards of management for technical development of the other brands so that we can leverage synergies and make more efficient use of the potential and capabilities of more than 40,000 development engineers in the Volkswagen Group. We cover all areas of competence from design to engines and transmissions, materials, lightweight construction and motorsport. These synergies are a unique competitive advantage of the Audi Group. We shape the future of mobility together, because in the automotive industry today and in the coming years, it will not suffice to have technically leading and visually appealing cars and motorcycles. Our customers' needs and demands are changing. We anticipate these changes with our product range. At the Audi Group, we place just as much priority on efficiency and connectivity as on sportiness and design, quality and perfection. Each design from Ital Design Giugiaro, each superbike from Ducati, each super sports car from Lamborghini and each car with the four rings always provides a glimpse of the future of mobility. This future will offer our customers a driving experience that is dynamic, emotional, as well as safe and comfortable. Audi customers also drive efficiently, sustainably, and with a high degree of connectivity. We take this future into series production. This is what I commit myself personally to. That's my goal, along with my entire team. I'm delighted that since July 2013, I have been able to contribute my experience from the 3 decades of development work in the automotive industry at Audi again. And I'm pleased that I can work with such a highly motivated team of development engineers here. In the first phase of getting reacquainted, we synchronized our understanding of products and processes, and we are now pushing our current projects forward in the target corridor with utmost energy and creativity. A strong culture of innovation is exactly what distinguishes us at Audi, and it's what we need to achieve our goals. With a view to the future of mobility, we focus on the trends of the present and the core values of our brand. For instance, sustainability. We are committed to qualitative growth and the sustainability of our products and processes. Our goal is to achieve mobility that is completely CO2 neutral. Our drive systems are oriented towards global CO2 targets without compromising performance and emotional appeal or emotiveness, because these core values are particularly important for Audi. Technologically, we are pushing forward with the pioneering concept of our turbocharged engines with direct fuel injection, and the same applies to electric and hybrid drives. We will also continue to push the limits of thermodynamic drive systems. We are working, for example, on engines with variable compression and electromechanically assisted charging systems. We apply lightweight construction with the intensive use of aluminium material mixes, but we also use carbon fiber reinforced polymers wherever appropriate in our cars. We are also further developing the integration of these materials with process-oriented joining and bonding techniques, and this is one of Audi's core competencies. The right material at the right place is the fundamental principle of our mixed material construction, which we push forward or promote together with our colleagues in production. Connectivity is another important priority. People want to be connected with each other at all times and wherever they are, also in their cars. Our cooperation with Google and Apple turns the car into a mobile device. It is connected seamlessly and in real time. In terms of connectivity, we at Audi set the benchmark, starting with our top segment and with the new TT, and then we will proceed to spread these functions across the entire product range. Now, this connectivity, of course, does not include the safety of drive systems, for instance. This is data which is explicitly secured and it is not integrated into this kind of network. We are developing Car2X connectivity, such as exchanging data with other vehicles and infrastructures with an emphasis on traffic flow and traffic safety. Third important topic, simplicity. Technology is becoming increasingly complex, but it should be increasingly self-explanatory and easy to operate for the user. In particular, when driving a car, there should be no distractions. Our MMI concepts are easy to handle and adapt to the driver's information needs. Our future interface strategies will take this principle into account. Another important theme here, another important new development is piloted driving. The next step towards more driving safety is piloted or autonomous driving. We meet the challenge of the competition with concepts close to serious maturity, and we see ourselves in a strong competitive position. Ladies and gentlemen, with the next Audi A8 we will have piloted stop and go driving on motorways, for instance, and piloted functions will then be gradually rolled out. In our development engineering, we apply for powerful levers. First of all, fascination. The Audi brand will continue to gain appeal along with the transformation of mobility. To this end, we will progressively develop the Audi design language in line with our brand's core values such as quattros, bootiness, progressivity, and refinement. With a premium interior, for example, we are making our ambitions clear in terms of quality and value. We will connect product planning and vehicle concepts with each other even closer. In this way, we will renew our product portfolio and include new vehicle concepts, enabling us to meet our brand's growth targets. Modularization is also very important. Increasingly complex Automobile technologies have to be implemented with reasonable effort and expense. In this context, we have the advantage of our great competence and experience in terms of modularization and modular matrix systems. We at Audi, in 2009, laid the foundation for the Volkswagen Group's module initiative with our longitudinal modular matrix. In 2009, that was. All manufacturers that want to be successful in the future will have to apply modularization in development and production. Modular construction offers enormous variety in automotive concepts. At the same time, it makes increasing complexity manageable. The goal of the second generation modular longitudinal matrix is to optimize the system in terms of variability and fulfillment of CO2 targets. In general, we will individualize or customize what the customer can notice or is aware of, and anything that the customer is not aware of and would not notice will be standardized. 5 brands already use the second generation of the modular longitudinal matrix, and 26 future derivatives from the B to the D segment are already based upon this new modular concept. The core of this concept of matrix is the uniform position of the engine and transmission in the car, as you can see from the Audi A6, A8 or Q7. The modular system allows us to use a large number of different engines, from the 4-cylinder TFSI to the 12-cylinder engine in the Audi A8 and Q7. In addition, the modular system allows us to scale up the degree of lightweight construction depending on requirements. In the second generation modular longitudinal matrix, various degrees of electrification will be applied in each model family, from the iHave to the hybrid electric vehicle, all the way to the plug-in hybrid vehicle. On the basis of the transverse and longitudinal concept, we will expand our product range to 60 models and versions by 2020, and this represents considerable growth. At present, we have 50 models in our portfolio. The youngest one is the S3 sedan, which was launched in Germany in mid-February. We at Audi take the future into series production. Technological progress is essential for Audi's future. With their wide range of features, our automobiles embody pioneering technology and superior appeal. We never create technology for its own sake. The customer will directly experience the benefits of this technology in our products. In 2014, we and the Technical Development Department are preparing the big model initiative of the coming years. Already this year, we will launch a total of 17 models and derivatives on the market. First of all, I would like to draw your attention to our compact and subcompact models, Audi S1, Audi S1 Sportback, and the Audi S3 Cabriolet, which we presented in Geneva last week. They include all of the key features that customers expect from a real Audi. With these models, we will significantly expand our high-volume range of compact cars, and we will continue the success story of our SUVs, as Mr. Stadler just explained to you. First of all, with the new compact SUV, the Audi Q1. In the luxury product segment, we will launch the new Audi Q7 on the basis of the second generation of the longitudinal modular concept or matrix. The absolute model highlight of the year 2014 is on the stage here next to me, the third generation Audi TT. We presented our design-focused compact sports car for the first time in Geneva last week. Well, I feel personally very connected to the TT. It's special to me because ever since the first generation in the 90s, I have been closely connected with it. As a concept developer, I initiated the TT with our designers then, and we progressed from the idea to the first design in just, 4 weeks. And the first TT was launched in 1998, and the trade journalists soon called it a design icon. With its successor model, I personally had the opportunity, together with Walter de Silva, to continue the TT story. And in the summer of 2013, I was able to add my thoughts in developing the third generation of the TT, and I'm sure that this model will become a tremendous success as well, because the new TT has everything that defines an Audi: impressive sportiness, high-quality design, and pioneering efficiency. For example, the future TT Ultra with a 2-liter TDI diesel engine will only emit 110 grams of CO2 per kilometer. Now, the interior of the new TT is also highly innovative. We have replaced the previous MMI monitor with the virtual cockpit in this fully digital instrument cluster. Directly in the driver's view, we bring together all of the information that is relevant to a sporty and safe driving experience in direct view of the driver. As a former concept developer, I always see a car under the aspects of how can I combine its elements in a new way and which derivatives of this model would be feasible and logical. In Detroit, at the automotive show, we presented the Audi TT all-road shooting brake, a show car, and it's a possible future member of the TT family. You and your colleagues responded very positively to this study. We are working on further ideas for TT derivatives, which we will soon unveil at further automotive shows. We showed another derivative in Geneva, the Audi TT Quattro Sport concept, which focuses on the sporting genes of the TT. And we will systematically further develop its Quattro technology. This show car has been developed without any compromise for use on the racetrack and would allow motorsport fans to experience directly what kind of performance an Audi TT can deliver. With its 4-cylinder 2-liter TFSI engine and an output of an impressive 420 horsepower, it weighs just 1,344 kilograms thanks to lightweight construction and carbon fiber reinforced polymers. The advanced gasoline engine of this concept study is a further development of the multiple award-winning EA888 unit, the most widely used engine in the entire Volkswagen Group. A good example of Audi's engineering expertise. Ladies and gentlemen, efficiency and sustainability are the guidelines of our innovation roadmap. And this is underlined by our commitment to the Volkswagen Group's target of 95 grams of CO2 emissions per kilometer by 2020. Already by 2016, we will have reduced the CO2 emissions of the Audi new car fleet by a quarter compared with 2008. And how will we do that? We will fulfill 20% of the current CO2 target corridor by taking measures for vehicle optimization, i.e., we will reduce the weight, the roll resistance will be reduced, and aerodynamic drag or air resistance will be reduced. These are just some of the levers which we will utilize. We will achieve a further 30% with alternative drive systems such as plug-in hybrid, natural gas and battery electric vehicles. In the future, we also envision fuel cell drives. Our packages are prepared for this. We will reduce most of the remaining CO2 emissions by fully utilizing the potential of our high-performance combustion engines. We are in a good starting position to do so. Audi has a long history of powerful and at the same time efficient engines. For 10 years, we have been setting the pace with our TFSI gasoline engines with direct fuel injection and turbocharging. They stand for high torque, strong output, and high efficiency. And they can use new CO2 neutral fuels such as Audi e-gas and e-ethanol. We will further enhance the efficiency and performance of these technologies, for example with variable compression and high pressure turbocharging. For 25 years we have been leaders with our TDI diesel engines, which also have direct fuel injection and turbocharging. Our TDI engines allow extremely long intervals between filling up and make use of the world's most efficient efficiency technology, most successful efficiency technology. And we will continue this tradition. Keywords here are right sizing, i.e. the right size of the engine, and two-stage turbostarging, electrically operated turbochargers, and TDI e-tron. The new Audi Ultra models are already making an impression on the market. With an even more efficient Euro 6 engine, they are our CO2 champions in each model series in terms of engine, drive system, and transmissions. All 13 models that you can order today and later this year have fuel consumption significantly below 5 liters per 100 kilometers. As an example, this is obvious with the Audi A3 Ultra, which consumes only 3.2 liters per 100 kilometers. For about 4 weeks now, another A3 efficiency champion has become available for order in Germany, the A3 Sportback G-Tron. It is our first model that can be run alternatively on gasoline, natural gas, or the climate-neutral Audi e-gas that we produce ourselves. It represents an attractive entry into the world of eco-efficient mobility. We are also carrying out a wide range of research and development work directed at the overall energy balance, for instance, in the area of synthetic fuels. Electric mobility and alternative fuels are a key focus of our development strategy. Our i3 Sportback e-tron embodies the state-of-the-art in terms of future-oriented drive technologies. To be launched this summer, the A3 e-tron combines a powerful electric motor with an efficient 1.4-liter TFSI combustion engine, and it offers top performance with minimal fuel consumption and extremely low CO2 emissions. It is at the top of our efficiency ranking with just 35 grams of CO2 per kilometer. Our first plug-in hybrid has had a great response amongst automotive experts since it has been presented, and I'm firmly convinced that it will be the same with our customers because it handles excellently. It's very dynamic and sporty. So the A3 e-tron is just the beginning. We are systematically transferring its plug-in hybrid technology to our mid-sized and large model series. The Audi A6, A8 and the next Audi Q7 will also be available as plug-in hybrids. My board of management colleagues and I appreciate that many of you, ladies and gentlemen, are awaiting use of our fully battery electric vehicle, the Audi R8 e-tron. And in recent weeks we heard a lot about this in the media. Together with my team, I have had a very close look at the electric high-performance sports car in recent months, and the latest development work is very convincing. We have now increased the range from 215 kilometers to approximately 450 kilometers, which is a decisive step towards everyday practicality. This significant step is the result of progress with battery technology and a revised package with considerably higher power density. Or in brief, we combine power and stamina. In addition, we have made significant efficiency gains, both with the mechanical components and with the electrical and electronic components of the R8 e-tron. The drivetrain is now more efficient, and onboard electricity consumption has been considerably reduced due to the optimization of the power electronics. I'm very proud of these achievements of my team. The Board of Management of Audi AG has decided, therefore, to offer the next generation R8 e-tron as a manufactured sports car upon customer request. And we will also make intensive use of the next generation of the R8 e-tron as an open technology carrier and innovator and working instrument for our engineers to test and further develop technologies for the future. Think of for example, of drive-by-wire technologies and active suspension concepts of the future. Taking a glance at the future of mobility, we assume that the development of automotive technology will become even more dynamic in the coming years, and I'm convinced that we are ideally prepared for the future with our strategic roadmap, a well-filled development pipeline, and a highly motivated engineering team. Our modular strategy is a strong competitive advantage here. At the beginning of my speech, ladies and gentlemen, I said that we live Vorsprung durch Technik, and I was referring to technology that truly delights our customers in every respect, and that's how we are going to approach the competition also in future. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Ulrich Hackenberg. Thank you, Axel Strothbeck. It was a little more in-depth today, but ladies and gentlemen, allow me to just briefly summarize. We have achieved our interim targets for volume growth 2 years faster than planned. With an unparalleled investment program, we are laying the foundations for our future success. And with a customer-focused innovation initiative, we are forcing and extending our Vorsprung durch Technik, for example, by putting our e-tron technology into the mid-size and large model series. Now, what does that mean specifically for 2014? First of all, let's look at growth. We will further expand our unit sales and increase our revenue to over 50 billion euros. As far as car deliveries are concerned, we are set to grow in all regions of the world, also in Europe. In the United States, we are taking the next big step towards 200,000 units, which is the milestone for the year 2020. And we are highly optimistic that we'll pass that milestone ahead of time, before 2020. And in China, we aim to be the first premium manufacturer to sell over and reach out to over 500,000 customers per year. So we've made a very good start in 2014 already. In January and February, we delivered a total of 242,400 cars, surpassing the prior year level by 9.3%. Especially our compact class is proving to be a highly attractive pull for customers. Demand for the A3 was 53% above prior year levels, and although the new generation is not yet available everywhere. So, the start of sales of the new A3 in China and United States are our next important product launches for this year. Because in both countries, the compact class is still underrepresented in the sales statistics of the premium market, but this is changing. In China, for example, it's a segment that is growing more than twice as fast as the premium market overall. And above all with the A3 sedan, we are standing to profit from this development. The A3 sedan is the ideal model coming at the right time in the right place. Having said so, we will also strengthen the luxury class with a new product upgrade of the A8 that will be available worldwide this year. And this is yet another important step, because 2/3 of our A8 customers are from China and North America. Now, some of our particularly sporty new models are here on stage for you. It's the A3 Cabriolet in the S3 Quattro version, or the Audi S1, or as Mr. Hackenbeck already mentioned, our new Audi TT. 1 week ago, our subsidiary brands also showcased new models. Lamborghini, for example, has a new chapter opening up with the Huracan. Well over 1,000 Lamborghini fans have already made their orders for that car. And Ducati celebrated the world debut of the new Diavel, which will boost sales in 2014, along with the new Monster 1200, which already had its trade fair debut in November. But back to our core brand and here to our new ultra-light models. What's behind that label? Well, across the entire model range, we've started an efficiency championship. We call an Audi Ultra model our CO2 champions in each model series. That is a benefit for our customers, because thanks to the new efficiency label, they now have the certainty that they are driving the most economical model of that series. And for us at Audi, Ultra means it's an additional incentive, because with every new model version, we want to set a new efficiency benchmark. So, as the new Non-Plus Ultra, we want to have CO2 neutral mobility. And here, we look far beyond the life cycle of the car itself and are gearing the entire value chain towards that goal. For example, 100% of the electricity that we use at our plant here in Ingolstadt comes from regenerative energy sources. So, ladies and gentlemen, also with the modular platform of our systems, is all about efficiency. When we expand our model range, we are, as Mr. Hackenbeck is saying, we are using all the synergies afforded to us. At the moment, we're developing the next stage of evolution of our longitudinal modular platform. And next to our site projects and investments in future technologies, we are making an enormous expenditure at the moment for our modular strategy, making massive down payments for future growth. So, today we are sowing what we will be reaping tomorrow. And yet, in 2014, we will still stick within our strategic target corridor, that is, operating returns between 8 to 10%. And we've got a clear, unequivocal course here of long-term sustainable success. We have already spoken about the technical innovations that will ensure our lasting success. We've talked and addressed these in length. But how are we preparing Audi for the future in other ways? Well, we will continue with targeted recruitment on the personnel side. That is, we're looking in particular at electric mobility, CO2 performance, car connectivity, lightweight construction, and multi-material mix. In Germany alone, we are recruiting in 2014 about 1,500 new employees and are once again offering to well over 750 young people an apprenticeship in our plants. Over the midterm, we will reach probably the benchmark of 80,000 employees for the Audi Group. Alongside these, our processes and structures shall continuously further develop in such a way that even in a world of almost unlimited options, we can react quickly and flexible to market requirements. Because it is the customer that is king. And flexibility and speed are, of course, the competitive edges of the future. So all the links in the value chain have to play their part in this, starting with the development of our automobiles. Here, we take full advantage of our trump card, namely the modular platform. In procurement, it's a matter of finding and sussing out the best partners for our innovation projects and developing strong supplier structures around our new plants. Thus, we globalize through localization, which is our motto here. The shorter the distance is in the supply chain, the more precise components can be delivered just in time and just in sequence. And that's why we're, for example, starting in Mexico this year with the construction of a supplier park close to the plant, and thereby creating the right conditions for our partners on site to set up facilities there. By the start of serial production in Q5, we want to localize two-thirds of the components in Mexico. But let's move on to production. The bigger the variety of models, the more flexible we have to assemble. We have to assemble multiple models on one plant on the same line. And here, our modular development strategy and the Audi production system are key competitive advantages. At the moment, we're preparing, for example, our plants for the production of plug-in hybrids. We're integrating them into the existing assembly lines. So we do not need to build a separate plant for our e-tron models. This allows us to meet regionally different needs, and we can adjust our production flexible to demand, and we're not risking high fluctuations in capacity utilization. It is a flexibility which makes it easier for us to really scale up our e-tron drive system quickly into other segments and into several factories. Now, more models, more drive systems, more equipment versions are all, of course, a huge challenge also for our sales unit. The art and the skill will be to offer customers all the possible options, but at the same time not to overburden them with excessive selection choices. Our Audi City showrooms show you just exactly how this can be done. They are innovation laboratories for the sales of tomorrow, because here customers can playfully experience Audi's diversity right down to the last detail. In February, we opened up our third Audi City in Berlin, and further Audi cities are to follow. Here we use elements of Audi's City digital technology, also in conventional retailing. At the same time, we're quite convinced that a premium product also always needs top advice alongside it, one that can respond individually to customer wishes. And that's why the personal touch remains at the heart of Audi sales. The example shows our Vorsprung durch Technik is always there to serve people. It is an approach that we also pursue when it comes to piloted driving, because here it's all about safety and better traffic flow on the road. So, for this decade, as Mr. Hackenberg just mentioned, we are planning to see serial production of that for speeds of up to 60 kilometers to serve as a basis for this are the driver assistance systems that we are already offering today and that we are set to develop further. At the start of this year, at the consumer show in Las Vegas, we showed you our piloted driving, which combines all the driver assistance systems, namely with minimum requirement on the space in the car, because it's no bigger than a tablet computer. With that, we're bringing piloted driving already now close to serial production. Now, you may have asked yourself, why is he bringing up this topic once again? Well, because next to the technical aspects, we have always stressed that the legal basis must also be provided. Now, for the last few weeks, we've had roundtable talks between manufacturers, associations, insurers, and of course the relevant federal ministries in Germany. We are welcoming this initiative and are proactively involving ourselves. It's already clear that this is a Herculean task, because the various different laws, well, some of them even half a century old, are of course fundamentally affected. But we're quite clear here. There's no dodging this issue. We are sporty when it comes to this issue, because if you want to be number one, well, you have to think outside the box and go beyond the limits of your own company. And thinking about the future also means, well, to exactly think outside the box. Whether it's helping to shape the framework conditions, the internationalization of our company, whether it's with groundbreaking technologies or fascinating Audi models, we play to win in all these events. And that's also what this board of management stands for. Thank you very much.